Hi everyone. Just wanted to show you guys my portfolio here on Robinhood. Um, you can see I'm up today, a little volatile due to the option plays that I have going. But today's July 27th, 2018, and the GDP numbers just got released, which were 4.1%, which is amazing, much more than previous quarters. Hopefully that continues. And we can continue riding this bull market wave wherever it may lead us. So, up today, a little over 8,200 in my portfolio, and I continually add whenever I can. So, I will take a run through what I got. So, starting with my option plays, you can see I have a match $65 call. Riding the trends here. Online dating isn't going anywhere anytime soon. I'm down on this contract. I've been averaging down, but I hope that their earnings next month will provide a little pop where this company can kind of go towards that $44-$45 range, kind of the pre-dip before Facebook announced that they were entering the dating game, but I still think that those fears are overblown. You could see it's been down almost 20% the last 3 months, from its highs around 50 to 50 back in April. But I have a long-term hope for this company that it will continue to grow, and my contracts won't expire worthless. Moving on to Micron. It's one of those shares that also bought on a dip where I think that they have potential to keep growing based on trends and data centers requiring their chips, and they're a company that's going to continue to grow. So no plans on averaging down at the moment. I hope that that'll rebound for my options. Moving on to Square, I also hold this company in my Roth, but you can see I'm up almost 9% on my play. Picked a longer date for this one, 2 years out in 2020, but I have no doubt they're going to hit that number. They're going to continue to grow. I think Jack Dorsey, the CEO's done a great job. I'm seeing Square everywhere, and they're prioritizing smaller businesses, but kind of creating that ecosystem of also introducing not just payment processing, but inventory management, payroll, all this stuff where their services just become very valuable to the store owners, shop owners, whoever may be using their product. So gonna continue to hold this contract here, and then lastly, in terms of options, I have Microsoft 150 call 2020. Also own this company in my Roth. I'm up almost 72% there on this contract, and I will continue holding this one throughout next year, and I know that it'll continue to grow with their increased cloud revenue, and they just have so many different revenue options and streams that I think they're a great company. So those are my option plays. Started doing options about 2 months ago, so I'm fairly new. So I'm not doing any weeklies or shorter term expiring ones, which is definitely more risky. So I'm kind of picking the dates that are a little longer out and giving my chance to ride the dips and the good and the bad. So that's what I got going for me. Moving into stocks now. So starting out with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness, they own many gyms in the US, and I know they're expanding internationally as well. And their whole premise is this idea that anybody can go to the gym. You don't have to be super fit, be grunting all the time, intimidating all the other clients. But, $10 a month, it's basically a gym where you just basically only want to stay in shape. And majority of the population, they discovered wants to do that. So, I started buying around the $26 range, so I'm up substantially, almost 85% on my investment. And great company. They have earnings coming up in the next couple weeks, which I have high hopes for. And I will continue adding to this position as I can. So probably one of the best performing ones in my portfolio. Berkshire Hathaway, one of the ones I bought on the dip last month around the $188 range. So it's rebounded quite nicely since that time. You can see I'm up a little over 5%. Not worried too much about the fears over the Warren Buffett succession and all that stuff. Long term, they're a great company. They have great companies under them, like Geico, that will continue to do well, and they're all well managed. So, not to mention that after the tax plan, Berkshire has a lot of cash on hand. So I'm sure they're itching for a acquisition sometime soon. Moving on to Discover. They reported earnings just yesterday and beat on EPS, and they're up today, so I'm glad to see that. In for only 5 shares for this one. Holding this one, due to the trends such as a cashless society and more people are using plastic over cash, and ones like Visa and MasterCard are doing really well. So I thought Discover was pretty undervalued in terms of price to earnings and their role in the market. I know they're taking on student loans as well, so offering a little more risk, but also more opportunity to profit from that. So I think they're a great company. Bank of America completing the financials here. One of the big banks. They're capitalized to, profit from increased interest rates over time. As well as I know they're streamlining a lot of their branches, closing ones that are underperforming, just creating branches of the future, so to say. Like trying to discover how people are using bank branches and the tools that they have available. So Bank of America, nice long hold for me. I started buying around $15 range actually, about 2 years ago when I first started this portfolio, and just continue buying ever since. You can see I have a 23.73 average cost basis there. But Bank of America, I'm sure a lot of it's just kind of been stuck in this rut around that $30-$31 range for the past 3 months really. It's just kind of in and out. So looking forward to the pop eventually. Going to the industrials, so Stanley Black & Decker, great company, great tools. I love the products. Also one of those I started buying early on around the $120 range. And long term, I think there's a lot of hope. They've dipped recently because of the trade war fears, but so has all the other big industrials. You saw like Boeing, 3M, Honeywell, all those big companies. So I'm sure that this one will continue to rebound. They have a reasonable price to earnings, around 21, growing dividend yield. So, yeah. Moving on to tech, my largest holding in this portfolio has got to be Apple, about a quarter of my portfolio. What's to say about Apple? They're increasing their subscription revenue. They make great products, and they're keeping people in that ecosystem. So, like I mentioned for Square, great branding. I know that earnings will probably be good. I hope so. Hopefully shoot this company over 200, eventually 100, 1 trillion market cap. So long-term hold for me here. Completing tech, I got Activision. I'm going to continue discussing trends. The esports trend, Overwatch League's doing really well. Gaming in general is very popular, and Activision is one of those companies set to capitalize. So you have a $58 average on this one, but also one of those early ones I started buying around the $36 range. So kind of around here when that initial dip here happened. Started buying some shares, and it's just grown ever since. So I hope Activision will continue to grow. It's actually down today because EA reported worse than expected earnings yesterday, so it kind of took down all the other video stock companies down, unfortunately. But if you guys are looking to buy, then now's your chance. Activision's going to be reporting earnings soon in August, early August, so stay tuned on how they do there. But great company. I've played their games before, and I hope they continue to do well. And lastly, in my portfolio, I have Constellation Brands, newer holding for me, but also two reasons I bought them. One being the increasing Hispanic American population trend in the U.S., which I feel they can capitalize due to the brands that they have, such as Corona and Modelo. And also their investment into cannabis. They invested almost 10% into Canopy Growth, the largest cannabis company in Canada and really the world, I believe, which has paid off in the last year. But also this company I bought on the last dip after their earnings. So I got a good price on it. It's dropped from like the over 230 range, bought it around 215, and hope that long term it'll continue to grow. So I wanted to add a consumer staple just for the little more security in my portfolio. Market conditions, never know what's going to happen, but I feel that this is a great stock to own long term. It's not going to go anywhere. And the trends of craft beer, they own a couple craft beer companies, and cannabis legalization can really help skyrocket this company. So that's what I got for you in options and stocks. I got a pretty substantial watch list here, which I can go over another time, but just keeping those companies in the mirror there, whether they're in my IRA or I'm thinking of some option calls on them or something, just to kind of monitor. So yeah, 8,200 portfolio. Hope everyone's enjoyed, and look forward to more videos. Thank you.